Recording in progress. Hey guys, welcome to today's Monday Mindset, which is entitled It Is Necessary. Go ahead and put some ends in the chat for necessary. It is going to be a fire mindset call today, especially since we had the distractions. I'm having to use this phone. Let me just make you host. So we're trying to control it in two areas, but it is necessary, guys, is the title of this call. And I want to tell everybody, I want you to write this down. I'm sorry about the pleasantries. We haven't done the pleasantries. Welcome to all those that are new into the family. Welcome to those joining this mindset call for the first time. I just want to say, just fit straight into the family. Don't feel like the new person. Ask questions, be a part of our community. You're going to get more than making money here, guys. You're also going to get upliftment. You're going to get, focus, one family. All right. We genuinely care about your growth. We genuinely care about how you are doing in your life. And we're going to pour into you constantly. So if you're new on this call right now, you've never, never been on one of these calls before, or you're new to the Wealthier World family, I just want you to just put a number 1 in or type in how long you've been in so we can acknowledge you and welcome you here into the family. All right. I want to welcome you. And what a day to come on, because today we're dressing for the fight, guys. I want someone to write this down. This is a call where you come with your notebooks, okay? You come with your notebooks and pens. Even I come with my notebook and pen, guys, because I don't even know what the Spirit is going to lead today. And that song, It Is Necessary, is something that really, really spoke to me. And I was like, well, no, we have to play that song. Absolutely incredible song. I see you. Is it Ehis? Welcome to the family. What a great time to get started. We have so many things. And guys, stay to the end because we have a very special announcement coming on. So where are all my note takers at? Let me see if I can swing this and see if we've got cameras on. I can see the notebooks, wave them in the air. We have delayed enough, so we're going to get started. So guys, It Is Necessary is the title for today's mindset call. What are we talking about, guys? We're talking about a fight. We're talking about a fight, guys. And some of us are not dressed for the fight. And so I've been called to get us in line. We need to dress for the fight. We need to get ourselves prepared, because what's going on right now, there is a spiritual warfare happening right now, guys. And I don't know if you can feel it. I don't know, speaking to a gentleman the other day, I was talking about some security stuff for my house. And we were having this conversation about how years ago, back in the days, what we used to have to, protect was like, physical robbery, people robbing your houses, people trying to steal from you, people doing these stuff physically. But now what's happening is it's now being done digitally. The frauds are happening, they're different type of fraud now. The olden day, robberies are not like how it is now. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? People don't rob your house now more. They rob your bank account. They rob you online. Rather than, I had a text message, someone texted me saying, click this link because you're due for HMRC refund. You're due for this, you're due for that. These days, what we are looking at now is different to how it was back in the day. Back in the day, if someone was coming to rob you, you'd see them. Even if they were balaclavaed, you'd see them right there. It was out there, right in your face. You will be able to see them. Sometimes you come home and you'll have that situation, right? But these days, they're getting clever. These days, it's not how it is. It wasn't a physical, it's not really physical no more. It's more digital. And the attacks right now are very, very spiritual, guys. So I want to just make us know that this call, it may make people feel uncomfortable, but I want to make sure that you are prepared for the fight that we have ahead. Because some of us are unprepared for the fight. Some of us don't understand that the old fight ain't going to cut it. Someone say it's not going to cut it. The way I used to fight isn't going to fight today's battles. The way I used to war isn't going to work in this battle, right? It isn't going to work in this battle. Guys, even if you think about it biblically, in the Old Testament, you had all these stories of battles, like, David and Goliath, and you had all these physical battles. You had the, different wars, different attacks, giants and fighting and all this type of stuff. But then when you came to New Testament, what was going on there? It was more spiritual. We were told things like, this war is not carnal. We were told things like we need to put on the full armor of God. How many of you know about the full armor of God? Come on now, right? So we have to understand that the way the battle changes, the way we fight the battle has to change depending on the season. Depending on the season that we're in. And I want to come to let you guys know that this is not a physical fight, guys. Some of you guys are losing the battle because you're trying to fight it physically. You're trying to fight it, through physical ways. And what you have to understand right now, guys, is there's something spiritual going on right now. The devices, the plans, the strategies of the enemy are out there. They are out there. How many of you have felt it? Like, I'm looking around and I'm seeing people that are, I had a conversation with one of my girls the other day, and she is one of the strongest females that I know. And even she was feeling it. And I had a conversation with another brother that I'm linked to, and he was feeling it. I was like, there is an air around right now where there is an attack on, especially not just, people always think it's weak people, but this is about, the people that are usually strong, the people that are usually, sorting things out and getting things done, they are now feeling they're feeling the strain, they're feeling the attacks so much more in this season. Right now, we're seeing the repercussions of COVID, what's been going on there. We're seeing all these different things. And you know what? It was in alignment when I listened to Neno today that he was speaking about no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Because when I did my notes for this call, I did it on Saturday, and it was just a confirmation when Neno said it today. Shout out to Neno. How many of you listen to Neno every single day on Tuesday? He had a powerful session again today around, weapons that's formed against you and stuff like that. And so what do we do to really prepare for this battle that we're not used to? How many of you, and maybe I'm just talking about myself, right? But how many of you back in school day used to be a little ragga-rugga, used to have little fights there and then? Like, I used to have physical fights in school, guys. Like, I was that girl that, if there was a fight needed, I was there. Like, I had that fight. But that's not the way no more. Right? Even these days, people don't even fight with their hands. 2-2's one fight goes out of hand. What happens? The guns get pulling out, knives get... The way that the battles are happening these days are very, very different. Very, very different, guys. So we got to be prepared. Someone write that down. I need to prepare for the spiritual battle. Whether you're in one now, you're just coming out of one, or you're just about to go into one, this is going to be relevant to you. I don't care how high you're vibrating on right now, guys. The higher you go is the more you need to protect yourself, the more you need to prepare for the spiritual battle ahead, right? I need you to understand that we don't fight against against flesh. This is not a fleshy fight, guys. We don't fight against flesh and blood, right? I need you to understand this. Stop. Some of us are trying to fight the battle physically, and you want to be fighting it spiritually. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can really do that. All right. So yes, we don't fight against, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, guys. We don't. Okay. It's so important that we realize that the spirit of darkness is out there. There is some serious demons out there trying to stop successful people, strong people, and to break down the people that usually got it all together, to make them fold, to make them fret, to make them give up, to make them start to doubt themselves, to think that they can't do things, or to make them feel like maybe they're not good enough, or to throw in the towel. But I want to tell somebody on this call right now that this is not the time to fold. This is the time to fight. And I'm going to teach you how to fight today. I want you to type fight in the chat. I'm going to teach you how to fight. We all know how to kick, punch, do all of that. But this is not that type of fighting, guys. I want you to, we're going to use our minds now. We're going to start to fight in the spirit. All right, because if we're not prepared, if we're not physically and spiritually prepared for the fight, what happens is we end up fighting it in a carnal way, and then we end up getting hurt because we do it in our own flesh, in our own way, and all of a sudden we then begin to realize that actually it's not working. And that's where depression kicks in. That's where fear kicks in. That's where lack of focus kicks in, distractions kick in, self-doubt kicks in, and all these other feelings that we have felt over time. I want you to just type in the chat for me that I'm not just talking to myself, right? Because I understand, guys, that we feel like this. So many people won't be transparent. They won't tell you that they've had those thoughts. They won't tell you that they felt like throwing in the towel, that they felt like they were not good enough, that they felt that they were not able to be alongside, other people, that they felt maybe too small, or too unsuccessful, or too broke, or too... So many people feel like this, but no one really wants to say it because we've been taught that it sounds weak to speak how we feel. We've been taught that we got to speak life over ourselves. We've been taught that we got to talk positive about everything. But actually, guys, the first thing we've got to do is understand what our feelings are, understand what is actually happening, all right, in that situation, to be able to fight it in the way that is required to fight. All right, so I want someone to type in the chat now, I'm ready to fight. Who's ready to fight with me, guys? Because we need to put on the armor. You guys know the armor I'm talking about, right? We know the armor we're talking about because there is an assignment over our lives. There's an assignment over your life. There is an assignment over your life. And we're going to break that assignment right now because you're going to be able to witness it. Some people get scared when we hear people talking like this. There's an assignment over you that, you know, the enemy don't want to see you rise. They don't want to see you grow. How many of you heard that people are happy for you? They want you to do well, but they don't want you to do better than them, right? So you got to really understand, right, that there is a method to fighting. There's a method to fighting. There's a method to fighting. There's a method to keeping your head above water. There's a method. You have to be a strategic person. You got to be strategy focused, not emotional focused. All right, not necessarily physically focused. You got to be strategy focused, and that is going to take the mind. Someone type the mind in the chat box right now. Now, first of all, in order for us to fight the battles, we got to understand which area that they're attacking. Which area is the battle coming from? What part is making me feel like this? What is it? Is it my health? Is it sickness? Is it divorce? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it what is it? Procrastination. What is it that's making this situation how it is right now? What is your enemy? What is the thing that's getting to you? I want you to type it in the chat right now. Shame the enemy. What is that thing? It could be unforgiveness. It could be fear. It could be procrastination. It could be self-doubt. It could be so many different things. Could be going through your mind right now. Could be going through your thoughts right now. You could feel tired, weary, fed up, annoyed, frustrated. There could be so many different emotions, and every single person is different, guys. And I want you really to have that personal time with yourself to understand what is it that's going through your mind? What is it that the enemy's trying to keep you down? They're trying to break you. They're trying to keep you, forgetting your goals, forgetting your mission. They're trying to tear you down so that you now start to serve them instead of your goals, instead of your future. So we got to first, number one, is to first highlight what it is that we are fighting. What is the fight against? The war is against what, guys? It could be against poverty. You could be tired of being broke. Like, what is the war against? And you got to know what you're warring. What is the war that you're against, guys? Because I tell you this straight, all right? When you start to put on the armor, there's certain things that happen, you just laugh. There's certain things that's going to happen and you're just going to laugh. You're going to be like, ha, there's another one. How many of you are at that stage where you see it coming? You're like, ha, there's another one. I knew it weren't going to stop there. This is just confirmation that something good's coming around the corner because I knew you were going to try that. I knew that was coming next. I could foresee that. You see, when you have the full armor on, guys, what starts to happen is you start to see it before it comes. You start to predict it. You start to prepare for it. You start to be 2 steps ahead of the enemy when they come. So you're now using counteractive strategies in order to prevent it from slowing you down or stopping you. Now, this ain't easy, guys. I'll tell you this for truth. It's not easy. All right? It's not easy. Now, when we talk about the helmet of salvation, this is for your mind. Now, we're going to start from the top. The helmet of salvation, guys. This is for your head, your mind, right? What are you protecting? When the enemy comes, what do? The first thing they attack is your mind. Why? Because if they can get to your mind, they control the whole body. The mind is what controls the body. If they can get to your mind, they get to everything. They damage every single thing. So you've got to have the helmet of salvation. What does that mean? The Prince of Peace. Salvation is all about understanding, guys, that you are not fighting this battle by yourself. That the battle is not yours, that there is a higher being that's going to protect you, that you can sit in that perfect peace, knowing that you are comforted, knowing that you are protected, knowing that you are loved. You see, when you have an everlasting peace, it don't matter what happens in your life. Yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, there's going to be times where you want to give up, but you remember that you are protected. You remember that your mind is the most important thing for you to cover because that controls the rest of the body. That controls your decision making. That controls your future. That controls, the way that you treat your children. So we have to protect your mind. Now, how do you protect your mind? What do you have to do to protect your mind, guys? So we're speaking about the spiritual. So I'm not talking about a physical helmet. When you're riding a bike, you got to protect your head. That's the physical. But what do you have to do to protect the physical mind? You got to make sure what you're pouring into your mind is edifying. What you're putting into your mind is going to help you to fuel. What you're hearing, the things that you're surrounding yourself with is edifying. Prayer, connecting to the higher being, the source, not forgetting whose you are in the midst of what is going on in the physical right now. You are in a spiritual connection, a spiritual relationship to who it is that you are, to who it is that you're connected to. So how do you feed your mind? You got to be strategic. You got to make sure that you pencil that time in. The same time when our belly's hungry, our belly rumbles, is the same way that we got to feed our mind. We got to feed our mind, mindset calls. Feed your mind with listening to mentorship calls, listening to Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is that you need to do. Feed your mind. Positivity. This is why I can't be around negative people. This is around why I can't be around negative talk. And guys, when I talk about negativity, I'm including negative self-talk. You cannot talk to you. The way you talk to yourself is so important. Affirmations, speak to yourself, speak life into yourself every single day. Despite how you physically feel, start to speak life. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Open your mouth and declare, I am bold, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I'm more than a conqueror, I am strong, I am strength, I am amazing mom, I'm an amazing dad, I am an amazing business person, I'm a boss, I can do all things, I am blessed, I am highly favored, I am protected, right? I want you to begin to say these affirmations, guys. Don't think, you see, it's the tiny noticeable things that people always forget. And these are the things that's going to keep your mind protected, keep you strong. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to keep you away from any negative things. Anything negative in your life, get rid of it. Anything negative in your life right now, you need to find a way to get rid of it. Now, not everything is easy to get away with straight away, guys, right? It's going to take work. Someone type in the chat, work, all right? But I want you to make an active decision to start working to get rid of those negative thoughts, rid of those negative words that you allow into your head, rid of those negative words that come out of your mouth. We have to start to speak life into our situation, speak life into ourselves. Tell ourselves that I'm not going to lay in bed till 11, 12 o'clock no more. I am going to get up. I hold myself accountable, guys. I started walking from today again. And I'm like, I'm going to start walking every day. I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to do it. I want to be integral. I want to be a woman of my word. And so now I've said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. How many of you need to promise yourself that you're going to be a woman or man of your word? A lot of times we talk about other people that let us down, but what about when we let our own self down? We promise ourselves things and we don't do it for ourselves. We don't have the self-care. Care about yourself enough to feed your mind. Someone say, feed. I'm going to feed my mind. I'm going to feed my mind. I'm going to feed my mind. Now, when you start feeding your mind, guys, right? We need that belt of truth, right? Someone say, this is the next piece of armor, the belt of truth. The loin, like we got to protect our loins, right? Very important. Now, truth is a word, right, that I want us to really look at here, guys. Not through emotions, not through feelings, but truth, the facts, right? We got to make sure that we're telling ourselves the truth because we cannot heal what we hide. So what is the truth? What is the truth about the situation? What is the truth? You see, sometimes, all right, sometimes we lie to ourselves. And not in a good way. Oh, I'm not good enough. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can. It's not for me. I can't. But the truth is, you've done it. You've done it before. The truth, it may not be that specific thing, but you've done it before. That specific thing just takes action. You've taken action before. I want you to understand that the truth sets us free, guys. Some of us, we lie to ourselves and not in a good way. We forget to remind ourselves of the good things. Some of us have had kids and we forgot who we were before the kids. Oh no, I'm not organized. No, you used to be very organized. That's in your bones. Maybe life circumstances stopped you being organized, but you're actually an organized person. Don't talk down to yourself. What is the truth? The truth is that you can do all things. The truth is that anything you put your mind to, you can do it. The truth is that you are an achiever. You can do it. The truth is you have the power. The truth is the fact that you're breathing life right now means that God ain't finished with you yet. The truth is that you are the only you on this earth. The truth is that only you can achieve what you have been put on this earth to achieve. Nobody can duplicate you. That's the truth. There is no other you, Donna. There is no other you, Dion. There is no other you, Sachelle. The truth is, Tracy, that you are the only Tracy that has been put on this earth to do what it is that you've been put on this earth to do. And so we need to make sure that we keep telling ourselves the truth. Yes, things may be tough sometimes, but the truth is that you're still standing. The truth is that you're still breathing. The truth is you're still living. The truth is that you were born. Listen, the fact that you're here right now means that you're a winner. Host, you just muted me. I'm not sure. Let me give it back to you. I am a winner. I want you to type that in the chat right now. That's the truth. That's the truth. The truth is that you're a winner. The truth is the fact that you're here right now means that you have passed life 100% of the time. You have 100% track record of overcoming life because you are here right now. That's the truth. And anytime that enemy tries to seek in to try to tell you any different, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am a winner. This ain't gonna defeat me. And so it's that truth that's gonna keep you going. That piece of armor right there, guys, is so important. It's so important, guys. It's so important. The next thing is the breastplate of righteousness. I want to let you guys know that how many of us are not perfect? How many of us have got a past? How many of us have made mistakes? How many of us, have been in situations that we know we could have handled that a little bit better? But you see, don't let people remind you of your past, guys, because you have that breastplate of righteousness, which means that there's a one that covers you that's perfect. We may not be perfect, but I know that there's something that says, let he who threw the first, without sin cast the first stone. Is that how it goes? I saw it go, right? Because you know me, I read the Ghetto version, right? So sometimes we beat ourselves up over things that we have done or things that we haven't done. We sit and live in guilt. And I want to tell you today that you're forgiven. I want to tell you today to forgive yourself. Let it go. Let it go, guys. Now, time is of the essence. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through all of them. The shield of faith, guys. The shield of faith. The shield of faith. Let me tell you this. This is one of my favorites. You see, when the enemy shoots you, you respond with faith. Someone's going to get that tomorrow. When the enemy shoots you, you respond with faith. What does that mean? Maybe you look at your bank account. That's a shock because it's not where it needs to be. But your response is faith. I took life into this bank account. This bank account will increase. Relationship. Somebody doubts you. Somebody says something bad about you. You don't believe that? You respond in faith. No weapon formed against me is going to prosper. I'm the head and not the tail. I ain't taking that. I'm not going to accept that. Listen, some of you got to stop letting people talk into your life as well because they're negative influences. They're really demons. Some of you are hanging around with the enemy and they're covered and pretending to be your friends. Oh, I need to get a charger. The devil's trying me today with all the technology. Technology comes, you respond with faith. They'll try not to make me do this call today. We switch devices. right? How many of you know, Neno said it today on the call, most of the time the attacks are coming from your inner circle. Most of the time the attacks are coming from your closest friends or family. You better root out, you better look who you're inviting into your house. Look who you're inviting into your inner circle. Look who you're allowing to speak into your life. Let me tell you how you can tell if people mean you any good. Is share good news with them. Neno said that today. You share good news with someone and you listen how they respond. Hey, I'm having a baby. Hey, I'm getting married. Hey, I'm starting a business. Hey, and you will hear all you have to hear. You will hear all you have to hear. And some of you are rolling with people that do not mean you any well. You got to respond with faith, guys, and know that I'm better than this. I don't deserve these relationships. I'm about to sit on the floor, guys. Hold up. Is it long enough? Oh. Shout out to Mas Anton, bought me a charger. Right? Faith. And I'll be honest with you guys, this one was tough for me because I used to be such a people pleaser. Like anytime somebody said anything about me or to me that was against what I used to believe in, I would really doubt myself and I would question. I'd bring another friend and think, what do you think? This is what they said. And I'm trying to get that approval from someone to tell me that it wasn't right what they said. But it would affect me. I'm not going to lie. It used to affect me a lot. But because I respond in faith, because I know, listen, I know I ain't perfect, but I know a perfect. I know someone who is perfect and they cover me. They cover me. So now I'm vigilant, guys. Now my eyes are open. I learn to counteract the enemy with my faith. Not everything needs a physical response. Some of you guys need to hear this. On a shot your mouth. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. That's what my grandma used to always say. Keep out your mouth. Some of us chat too much because we're so defensive. We want to defend ourselves. But your response is faith. You don't have to defend yourself. Do you know that the battle isn't yours? Sometime when the enemy's coming after you, you don't even need to give them an answer. The truth will set you free. They're going to find out the truth. The truth will come out. They talk about it to you, someone else, the truth is going to come out. That's how much faith I have. In fact, I tell people, don't come to me and tell me now. I don't want to hear it. The truth will find its way out. I don't need to talk. And some of us have got to work on that. We got to work on that. Faith. Faith that your character speaks for itself. Faith that you don't have to fight the battle. Faith that you don't have to convince anybody of your worth. Faith that you can do things without having to get justification or without having to get confirmation from other people that are not qualified to give you what it is that you need. Protect your mind, guys. The sword of the Spirit. Come on. The sword of the Spirit. What is that? The word. The word. How many of you have heard so many times that the world was created with a word? Yeah? How powerful is the word? A lot of times, you know, I remember when I was first down, I used to, you know, go to Auntie Anne and ask her for prayer and stuff like that. And she will pray me up. But you know what I heard one day? That I needed to pray for myself. I needed to start to know the words for myself. I needed to get deeper into the word for myself. You know why? Because the word is not a lie. The word is going to remind me of the truth. The word is going to comfort me. The word is going to build me up. So what words are you reading on a daily basis? What words are you seeing for yourself on a daily basis? Because as much as I come on here, guys, and I love you all, and I pray over this family, and I pray, you know, I pray for anyone that asks me for prayer. But I can pray as much as I can, but if you don't pray for yourself, you ain't going to see it. You got to encourage yourself. You have to learn to encourage yourself. And the only way you're going to get that strength is by what you read, the word. It's so important, guys. And guess what happens? More you read the word is the more you damage that enemy. Whatever enemy that you wrote in the chat earlier, the more you read that word is the more you damage the enemy. Some of you are like, yo, I came here to trade. This is heavy stuff. I just came here to learn about money in minutes. What is she on about? Let me tell you what I'm on about, guys. Let me just break it down for you. You see, no matter how you do anything is how you do everything. And so everything that's happening in our lives shows up in every area. Have you ever started something and you're like, oh, every time I start something, I go 2 steps back. And when you look, it was your lack of consistency. And then maybe at your job, you know, you don't get that promotion that you were going for. And when you look, it's that lack of consistency again. Then you were trying to lose weight. You promised yourself you're going to lose weight, but then you looked and it was that lack of consistency again. You see, how you do anything is how you do everything. I want to tell you right now on this call, that it's all spiritual, guys. The reason why sometimes we don't see the results that we want is because we are playing it carnally. We are playing it physically. We're trying to do it in our own strength. We don't want to do the work. That's why most people don't join a mindset call, because they don't believe it's going to give them the results, which in actual fact, this is the most important thing you want to do, is work on your mind. Work on the words that you're putting into your mind. Work on the words that's coming out of your mouth. Because when you begin to speak the word, guess what happens? The spirit begins to live in you. The spirit begins to come out of you guys. And guess what that does? That damages the enemy. The spirit is then inside of you. How many of you have that feeling sometimes when you wake up and you're like, I feel good today. And you don't know why, but you just got that spirit where you just want to get up, you want to get things done. You might want to do a bit of cleaning. You might want to, your vibration's high. And then the results happen. The vibration doesn't come after the results. The vibration comes before the results. So you wondering why the results ain't coming is because you ain't working on your vibration. It's the easiest thing to slack off on, guys. And I'll tell you the truth. I was the worst. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a positive person. I don't need mindset every week. I can skip this week. How many of you felt like that? Let's be honest. I'm positive. But when you understand that this is a battle, it's a war. So every time you miss out, what happens is you drop your armor. You haven't serviced your armor. So then one day what happens is you feel, oh, I've just missed one. I feel fine. I'm still cool. And you carry on. And then you may miss another day. You're like, yeah, it's cool, it's cool. And then the enemy attacks. But because you haven't been fueling your mind, you're weak and you can't cope with the attack. And so this is why we got to make sure that we do this daily. We speak life into ourselves. You schedule it in so that you can really look after yourself, guys. Prayer, so important. When you're feeding your mind, you're feeding yourself with a word. You can only then can you speak it, right? Only then can you pray about it. Only then can you start bringing the war. Listen, sometimes I'm praying and I'm literally there. I don't even know what's going on around me because I'm deep in the spirit. I'm deep in the spirit because I'm speaking. I'm in that warfare zone. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I'm the head and not the tail. No enemy can attack me. I cut the head off the enemy right now in the name of Jesus. I'm literally there. And I have to keep speaking that words over myself. Keep speaking it so it gets into my head. Some of you are like, oh, but I don't know the words. Well, you've got to know the words, guys. You have to know the words. You have to know the words because that's the only way you're going to defeat the enemy. Sometimes, I tell you this, guys, the battle's not obvious as well. Have you ever woken up the other way where you're not full of beans, but you woken up and you're like, I don't know why, but something's heavy on me today. I just feel down. Anybody ever woken up like that? Like, I don't know, I was fine yesterday and there's just this heavy feeling over me and I don't understand why. I don't know why I feel like this. Sometimes, you see, sometimes what we used to see as the battle is coming in a different form and we can't explain it sometimes. It's not obvious sometimes. This is why we got to stay prayed up. This is why we got to keep speaking the words. Why? Because this is where depression comes in and it creeps in slowly. This is where the spirit of darkness comes in and it creeps in slowly. And you don't know because you don't really, you don't witness it. You don't see it. You don't see it. And you see so many stories you hear about where, you know, it wasn't a medical thing that healed them. It was a spiritual thing. Have you guys ever heard of that experiment where, you know, two sets of people had the same disease? One went for the operation and one didn't, but they thought they had the operation and they were healed based on the fact they thought they had the operation and they healed. Because most of this time, it's a spiritual thing that's required. It's not necessarily a medical thing. And so we got to make sure that we work on it. We got to make sure that we speak it. That sword of truth, sword of the spirit, so important, right? So important. So here's what I want to say just to wrap up, guys, before I tell you the special announcement. I wrote so many notes, but I'm not going to be able to go through it. But this is not a season for you to fold. It's a season for you to fight. This is a season for you to fight. This is not a season for you to fold. It's time to stand, guys. And sometimes it's going to take everything that you got. It's going to take everything that you got on the inside of you to stand. But I'm telling you right now that it's time to stand up. It's time to go to war. It's time to go to war with those things that's telling you that you can't do it. It's time to go to war when it comes to time management. It's time to go to war with procrastination. It's time to go to war with negative self-talk. It's time to go to war with allowing people into your circle to talk down on you, to destroy your goals, to destroy your spirit. But we got to put on the armor, the full armor, guys. The full armor. Because when you stand, you do know that the devil flees, right? Because the devil only creeps in during your weakness. Are you aware of this? The enemy only creeps in during your weakness. So we have to come to a place where we say, listen, I'm going to fight right now. I cannot afford to have a weak day because that's when they're going to try to come in. They come in when the faith is low. When you blew an account. When you're late for the school run and you're huffing and puffing because you really want to get there and there's so much traffic. When you get a phone call that doesn't please you, a letter through the door that doesn't please you, bank account not looking great, partners maybe having arguments, going through grief, people being inconsiderate, damage of character, car park tickets. These are all the things that come to test your faith, to see if you're going to fold, to see if you can stay strong. I said it on one of my calls the other day. I think it was an Instagram live when I spoke about a season in my life where I was so weak. Guys, people see me now, but they don't know the story. There was a time where I was literally so broke that I was heading off to them payday loans every month. Every month I'd go into that cash converters and I would be borrowing money and paying it back. And the interest rate was so high. I was in a constant cycle because they take it back on payday. Then I'd need to borrow more to cover it. And it was so bad. I pray nobody knows about what I'm talking about. And these payday loans were crippling me. And I didn't want to, I don't know about you, but if you're not a beggy person, put no beggy. I'm not a beggy person. I ain't gonna beg no one for money. I'll do what I have to do. If I have to sell something in my yard to make sure I feed my kids, but I weren't begging for bread. So that was just the only way I could deal with it. We had no money. I couldn't feed my kids and my child. I only had one son at the time. And it was so bad, guys. But I had to stand. I had to realize that he didn't take me this far to leave me this far. Joy had to come in the morning. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So he created the world and everything with just one word. And so all it needed was a word, and my situation's about to change. I had the faith that this was only going to be temporary. You know, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I believe that we go through things as a test to see if when we get the thing that we want, if we really appreciate it. Because how many of us know that if we kept getting everything we want every single time straight away, we won't appreciate it? I was saying it about I was saying to my husband the other day, the kids broke 2 toys on the weekend. I was vexed. I never had toys when I was younger like that. And I was saying, it's because they get everything. Them pride. And so what happens is they don't value what they have because they got it easy. Admin, can we let anyone in the waiting room? I'm getting messages that they're trying to get back in. And yes, I think I was sharing it with Auntie Anne as well. I was saying, what am I going to do with these children? Because I don't want to bring forward a bad breed picnic that just have everything and mash them up. Because we go the other way. We don't want them to feel the sufforations of how we were growing up when things were so tight. And then we go the other way and give it everything, but then there's consequences to every situation. You see, it's hard being poor and it's hard being rich, I tell you. So don't let anybody ever make you feel like their circumstances is perfect, guys. So I was sitting there talking to Auntie Anne and I was like, these picnics spoil, man. They mash up 2 toys. They don't appreciate it because they have everything. They're not used. So here's what I said. I said to my son, you know what? What's going to happen is you guys are going to have to work now to get it back. But when we get things so easy, we don't appreciate it. So sometimes I believe that God allows us to go through a season of drought, a season of waiting, so that when we receive it, we are grateful. When we receive it, we know that it wasn't our strength. When we receive it, we're able to stay humble, that we're able to say, you know what, this is what it went through. How many of us know that we learned more in the season when we didn't have than the season when we had? We learn, we grow so much in the season where we're trying to get there. It's all the process, right? The law of the process. Sometimes he's testing if we can be trusted with what it is that we say that we want. You say you want 6 figures. You say you want that big house. You say you want that thing. Can you look after it? Are you going to do the right things for it? I give you the 6 figures. You're gonna spread it? Are you going to help other people? To whom much is given, much is required. Can you manage what it is? Can you pay for what you pray for? That's a word for someone. Some of us pray for the 6 figures. But when we pray for the 6 figures, we're also paying for the consequences of having those 6 figures. Someone in the chat said, more money, more problems. Understand that after you suffer a while, he'll establish you, right? The suffering is not forever. It's not forever. But there's a message in this mess. There's something that he wants you to take from it. There's something that we got to learn from this situation. Did I enjoy the drought? Did I enjoy the payday loans? Did I enjoy my son playing up in school when, you know, it was a breakdown of marriage? Did I enjoy all of that? No, but it was necessary because it built my character. It built my resilience. Perseverance and consistency began to be my best friend. You see, not only did I have to dress for the fight, I had to go through the fight. And not only did I have to go through the fight, I had to grow through the fight. Some of us are feeling the growing pains right now, but we have to make sure that we're prepared. Are you walking and talking belief? Are you believing right now? Because you can't afford to allow the enemy to get into your mind. You can't afford to allow these things to get into your mind, guys. Perseverance, hear this. Here's a gem for you guys. Perseverance will get you there. Perseverance will get you there. Consistency will keep you there. So you're gonna have to fight to get there, but you got to stay consistent to stay there. Otherwise, guess what happens? How many of us have been in a situation where we thought we overcame it, we got out of it, we're like, yeah. And then a few months down the line, we're back in that same place again. A few months down the line, we've returned back to what we thought we overcame. That means we ain't learned the lesson. That means that there's something that we need to learn. There's something that we need to do. If you have perseverance without consistency, you keep going back to your old self. You keep returning to that vomit, as they say. You keep going back. If you persevere without consistency, you'll keep going up and down. Facts. So let me tell you this. The three things. Perseverance is going to get you there. Consistency is going to keep you there. And gratitude will give you more. Let me tell you this, a lot of people ain't grateful for where they are, and that's why they don't get more. If you enjoy and if you're grateful for where you're at, you're going to get more. More will come and abundance will flow. And abundance will flow, guys. So here, let's just wrap this up. So what do we need to do? We must put on that full armor. How? Resisting the devices of the enemy. All right? We got to make sure we got the helmet of salvation. Make sure we got that belt of truth. Make sure we got the sword of the spirit and all of that, guys. We got to stay strong. We got to stay strong. Keep doing the things. They're not going to be the easy things, but they're going to be the things that's going to keep us fighting, keep us aware, so that we understand exactly what's going on, right? So that we can recognize the devices of the enemy when they come. So we don't sit down procrastinating for 2 days. We catch up on ourselves and go, oh my God, I'm sitting there doing that and I need to get up. Because now your spirit is sensitive to that. You guys understand what I'm saying? Because I want to translate this into tangible things that you guys can do. Right? Tangible things. So here's the thing. Let me just get to the end. All right, cool. So what I want you to do, homework, guys, is I want you to really ask yourself about your situation that you're currently in right now. Ask yourself if you are dressed for the battle that you're facing. Are you dressed for that battle? You see, how many of us go out, right, to the raves back in the day with high heels, and we knew that we couldn't dance in those shoes. We knew that we'd end up having to take them off because our foot was starting to burn us, or we'd end up sitting down pretending like we don't want to dance, but really the shoes were not fit for the purpose of that night. They were them dinner shoes where we just sit down around the dinner table and take pictures with our foot cocked to the side. Oh yeah, you lot know. Yeah? You guys are wearing swimming trunks to a wedding. We need to make sure we got the right attire for the right occasion, guys. Are you dressed for the battle? Whatever your battle is. No one can do it for you, guys. There are certain things that no one can do for you. You have to fight for yourself. I can run with you. I can pour into you. I can say everything to you guys, but I can't run for you. It's not enough just for my faith to be activated. You have to activate your faith, and that's going to take work. I can't force you to do this, but this is required. Life and death is at stake. The life of your goals, the life of your purpose, your mission on earth. So here's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to write down your current situation, write down the things that you're fighting against. And then I want you to write down exactly what part of the armor you need to really help you get through it. And then start to feed your mind. Maybe it's, 15 minutes of something in the morning, a devotional. Maybe it's, understand the word, Bible study, or go online. We're living a world now where you just need to Google things. You're feeling down. You go onto YouTube and say, words of encouragement when people are feeling down. Right? You have to fight for it yourself, guys. Someone type in the chat, fight, right? I need you to fight for it. One of the things I do is I put on music, like positive gospel music for me. All right. You sing out, you declare over your life. Another thing that I do is giving. I told you about this before. Sometimes it just takes a sacrifice. Sometimes you got to do something good for others to help you with that fight. If you're feeling tired right now, guys, I want to tell you it's the season to fight, not fold. Put on that armor. Put on that armor, guys. I'm going to do it for myself. I want you guys to do it for you too, right? I can't do it for you. I can't be the sacrifice for you. You have to do it too. And so once you've written down what your fight is, and then what you're going to, what you're going to do to overcome it, then I want you to schedule in your diary what you're going to do. It might be 2 o'clock Neno to feed your mind. It might be a 15-minute in the morning. It might be meditation. It might be, positive self-talk. It might even be writing out your schedule, making your someone in your home your accountability. Like I told my husband today, no matter what, make sure I'm awake at 9 o'clock. I've gone on and made myself accountable online. I will be walking every day. So you've got to make yourself accountable to self-heal, to make sure that you are ready and prepared for when that enemy comes. Are we ready to fight, guys? Are we ready to fight? How many of us are ready to fight? How many of us are ready to fight? I'm ready to fight right now. This is a war. This is a war against the enemy. This is a war right now. This is a serious war. And I'm just letting you know what you've been through has been necessary, because it's allowed you now the wisdom that you have right now. Some of us are going through the season, and I'm telling you right now that the season, there's a shift. How many of you are ready for the shift in your season? How many of you are ready for the tide of the certain things that's going on right now? You're like, listen, Nikki, I'm ready to fight because I'm ready for the shift. I'm fighting for my shift. It was necessary, but I'm fighting for the shift right now. I'm fighting for the shift right now. I'm going to put my daily routine in action. I'm going to prioritize my mental health. I'm going to prioritize myself. I'm going to feed my spirit. I'm going to feed my soul. I'm going to feed my mind. And anything or anyone that does not correlate or in alignment with what I know I've been called to do is going to be ejected. I'm going to rebuke. I'm going to get it away from me because I'm tired. I'm tired of having the same old, same old. I'm tired of seeing the same old results. I need more right now. But I understand that this is not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. This thing is not carnal, guys. So we have to make sure that we're fighting in the spirit. Not every word you need to respond. You don't show your left hand to your right hand. You don't need to answer to nobody. You do what you got to do. You were born to create. You were born to be a boss. You were born to lead. You were born for what it is that you were born for. And don't you dare let anybody tell you any different. I want to feed into you today, right now, guys. And I want somebody to receive it. Maybe 10 people on this call to receive it and say that I have not been, fighting the way that I know I need to fight. But after today, the fight is on. I want to see those of you that realize that now it's time to reactivate. Now you're ready to fight. Now you're ready to really go to war because now you understand. Now you get it. Who's ready to fight? Who's going to tell me the fight is on? Bring it on. Come show me what you got. Come, because I'm ready to laugh right now. I knew you were coming because I just came off the mindset call where I said I was going to fight. So you had to come today to come and try and show and test me to see if I was ready to fight. I'm ready for you. I'm prepared for you. I'm prepared for you. When that person tried to tell you your business is a scam, oh yeah, come, I'm ready for you. When they try to tell you that, you're not good enough, yeah, come, I'm ready for you. They try to tell you that your child is not progressing, yeah, I'm ready for you. They try to tell you that you're never going to make it, you're not a good wife, you're not a good husband, yeah, I'm ready for you. They tell you that your health situation ain't going to get better, I'm ready for you. They tell you you're forever going to be depressed, you're forever going to be down, I'm ready for you. Because I got my full armor on right now. And so, guys, I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. Let me just see if we can end this recording. I hope you got something from this